The grocery store was unusually quiet that evening, the kind of quiet that makes every sound feel sharper, heavier. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as Daniel, a single dad with tired eyes and a gentle face, pushed his half-filled cart toward the checkout lanes. His 8-year-old daughter, Maya, walked beside him, hugging her small backpack the way she always did when she felt anxious. They were picking up a few things for the week: milk, eggs, some fresh fruit, and the cheapest cereal Maya liked. At the register stood a young cashier, no older than 22. Her name tag read Emily, the plastic cracked from overuse. She kept her gaze down, scanning items with a mechanical rhythm. But something was off. Her hands, pale, tense, trembled uncontrollably with each beep of the scanner. Daniel noticed it right away. She dropped the milk, barely catching it before it hit the floor. "Sorry," she murmured, voice strained. "It's okay," Daniel said softly, giving a reassuring smile. But she didn't look at him. She just continued scanning, fingers shaking harder. Then she misscanned the cereal 3 times, her breath hitching like she was fighting something inside her chest. She wiped her palms against her uniform, but the trembling didn't stop. "Daddy," Maya whispered, tugging his sleeve. "She looks sick." Emily's face flushed. She definitely heard it. Daniel leaned slightly closer, lowering his voice so only she could hear. "Hey, are you all right? Why are your hands shaking?" Emily froze. For a full second, she didn't move, didn't speak, just stared blankly at the register screen as if the numbers swam before her eyes. Then she inhaled sharply, set the cereal down, and whispered. "Because I haven't eaten since yesterday." Daniel's heart dropped. He glanced instinctively at her arms, thin, almost fragile. Her cheeks were sunken just enough to show exhaustion. The way she stood looked like someone operating on fumes. "I work double shifts," she added softly, still not looking at him. "Tips are gone, bills are behind, and I didn't want to faint on the job again." She swallowed. "So they told me to drink water and push through. I'm just trying to hold it together." For a moment, Daniel couldn't speak. This wasn't the kind of answer you expect from a cashier at a grocery store. Not the kind you can walk away from and forget. Maya looked between them, eyes wide. "She didn't eat," she whispered again, louder this time. Emily's lips tugged into the smallest, saddest smile. "It's okay, sweetheart. I'm used to it." "No one should be used to that," Daniel said quietly. The line behind them was empty. The store was close to closing. He felt a heaviness in his chest, a familiar heaviness. He'd been there before, years ago, when he'd lost his wife and money was tight, and he had to choose between paying rent and feeding his child. He remembered the shaking hands, the skipped meals, the hidden struggles. Daniel took a slow breath. "Emily, step aside for a second. Please." She blinked, confused and defensive. "Sir, I can't. They'll think I'm slacking again. I already got written up today." "I'm not asking you to stop working," he said gently. "I'm asking you to breathe." She hesitated, then stepped back half an inch, clinging to the counter as if afraid her legs might give out. Daniel reached down, picked up a protein bar from the impulse shelf, tore the wrapper open with one hand, and placed it in front of her. "Eat," he said simply. Her eyes widened. "Sir, I can't, I'm not allowed to eat while working." "Then pretend you're scanning it," he said. "And pretend I paid for it already." Her voice broke. "I don't want pity." "It's not pity," Daniel replied softly. "It's what any human being should do for another." She stared at the protein bar as if it were something fragile, precious. Then her stomach growled so loudly that even she flinched in embarrassment. "Please," Daniel said. "Before you fall." She picked it up with trembling fingers, and for the first time, the shaking slowed. She took a bite, small, cautious, then another, faster, almost desperate. Tears welled in her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "This is humiliating." "No," Daniel said firmly. "Humiliating is pretending people are fine when they're clearly drowning." Emily covered her face, tears slipping through her fingers. Her voice shook. "I'm just trying to keep my life together. My mom's sick, my rent went up, and this job barely covers anything. I'm scared I'll lose everything." Daniel exhaled slowly, the weight of her words sinking deep. He turned to Maya. "Sweetheart, can you hand me that basket?" Maya nodded and grabbed a small hand basket from the side. Daniel began filling it: sandwiches, fruit cups, more protein bars, juice bottles, a ready-made meal, anything that wouldn't require cooking. When he finished, he slid it across the counter toward Emily. She looked at the basket like it was illegal to even touch it. "Sir, I can't accept this. Please. I'll get fired." "You're not accepting a gift," Daniel said. "You're accepting a break you desperately need." Her breath caught. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," he replied. "Just eat. Rest. And when your shift is over, take this home." Emily's voice cracked. "Why are you doing this?" Daniel paused, eyes softening. "Because once, someone helped me when I was barely holding on. They told me something I'll never forget." He nodded at the basket. "When you see someone slipping, you don't watch. You reach." Emily broke down crying, quiet, raw, exhausted tears that had clearly been waiting for a long time. Maya stepped closer and placed a small sticker from her backpack onto Emily's hand, a blue star. "You're doing your best," she said. "My mom used to say that sometimes people who look strong are tired inside." Emily choked out a small laugh between tears. "Your daughter, she's very sweet. She learned from her mother," Daniel said softly. The moment hung in the air, raw, human, painfully real. Emily wiped her tears, steadied her breath, and whispered, "Thank you. You probably saved me today." Daniel shook his head. "I didn't save you. I just noticed you." And for the first time since he'd walked up to the register, Emily smiled, a real, trembling, grateful smile. As Daniel and Maya walked out with their groceries, Emily stood behind the counter still holding the half-eaten bar, still wiping tears, still trying to understand how a stranger's kindness could hit harder than her struggles. Sometimes, the smallest question carries the biggest truth. Why are your hands shaking? And sometimes, the answer is something that leaves you utterly, painfully, profoundly speechless.